So your dad was obviously a big influence on you in lots of ways.
Of course, all his friends were engineers as well.
Right.
Okay.
And all they ever talked about was engineering, much to my mother's annoyance. And so I grew up amongst engineers. And when I went to high school and had to choose a career, I decided to be an engineer, which was fine. Everybody said that's fine. But what they didn't say is, do you understand what it's going to be like to be the only woman? So I went to an all-girls school. I went to Warford. And I went to the orientation lecture, and there were about 200 engineering students there in the orientation lecture, and there were 6 women. And I was the only one in mechanical engineering. Unbeknown to me, I was the second woman to study it.
Right.
And the first one was 20 years before me.
Wow.
So it was very unusual.
Yeah.
And I felt like the odd one out.
Yeah, I was about to ask, how did you feel? How did you make friends?
I wasn't an outgoing person. I was very quiet and shy. And I was in a class full of blokes, and they decided that I should be this token woman. So whenever we had a guest who had to be welcomed or introduced, I had to do it. Whenever there's anything special to do, I had to do it. And I didn't want to be like that. I wanted to be ignored at the back of the class. I didn't have that sort of personality. And there was no women's toilet in the mechanical engineering building. I had to go to civil engineering. They had one.
How far was that?
Oh, it was another building.
Okay.
And when we did training in using machining, like lathes and cutters and other things, we went to the technical college on Frome Road, I think it is, in the city, next to the Teachers College. In that building, there was no women's toilet, so you had to go down to the ground floor, out, walk around and go into the Teachers College to use the ladies' loo. It was quite a trek.
Yes.
And,
sounds like it.
and I remember we did also welding course at the ENWS Waterworks department where they trained their apprentices. And we had to start at, I think, 6:30. It was the middle of summer. We were doing welding. And I had to wear overalls. And to get there, I had to catch a train from Belair and a bus out to somewhere where I had no idea where I was. So I had to leave home in the dark with a torch. And someone must have seen this torch walking along the road after a couple of days and reported it to the police. And the police came and stopped me. And there I am, this short girl wearing overalls and a torch. Where am I going? I'm going to welding training at Ottawa or somewhere like that.
Wow. What a different world.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I was a very good welder, actually. I was one of them.
Okay, well, there you go. There you go.
As you were looking to study this, in a very different world to today, were you? Did anyone try to deter you and say, "Look, you can't do this. You're a woman"?
No, nobody did that.
Okay.
Nobody at all.
Yep.
But I quit after second year,
Okay.
or in second year, because I didn't want to be an engineer. And then I got a job making. No, I was an insurance clerk.
That's different. You've gone from being one of the best welders and the only woman in the class to now doing that.
Yes, and
That's a jump.
then I realised after I did that, if it takes you only 2 weeks to learn your job, and you're going to be doing the same thing for the next 3 years, that you get very boring.
Yeah.
So every year we'd have an annual interview with the personnel officer, and I would always burst into tears. I never remembered to take tissues, and it was very embarrassing. Eventually I promised I'll go back and finish my degree
Okay.
because I was bored.
Yeah.
And I went back to uni and I did second year. And third year, and fourth year, and halfway through fourth year, I quit again.
Thank you for watching this short clip of Life Bursts. You can like, subscribe or follow for more, or head to rawcut.com.au.